भारती न्यूज, सीधा, सटीक और निष्पक्ष।
Good evening and welcome to Bharati News. I'm Vanshudhavan and let's have a look at the biggest news stories of the day, starting with national headlines first. Operation Sindoor is continuing because India will respond if there's another terror attack like the one at Pahalgam last month and hit terrorists operating from Pakistan. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has said, outlining India's new approach to countering cross-border terrorism. Jaishankar reiterated during an interview with Dutch public broadcaster NOS that the May 10 understanding on halting military actions were reached bilaterally by India and Pakistan after Indian strikes compelled the Pakistani military to accept that we need to stop firing at each other. He ruled out any US role in this understanding or in any possible talks with Pakistan. India launched Operation Sindoor on May 7 in retaliation for the Pahalgam terror attack of April 22nd that killed 26 civilians, targeting terrorist infrastructure at 9 sites in territories controlled by Pakistan. This triggered 4 days of intense clashes with both sides using drones, missiles and long-range weapons before the two sides agreed to halt military actions. The operation continues because there is a clear message in that operation that if there are other acts of kind that we saw on April 22nd, there will be a response, that we will hit the terrorists. Jaishankar said about Operation Sindoor, which Indian officials had said earlier, has not concluded yet. Police addressed the espionage charges against YouTuber Jyoti Malhotra on Wednesday, stating that she was in contact with officials from Pakistan. But there is no evidence so far linking her to any terrorist groups or activity. Malhotra, known for her travel videos on YouTube channel Travel with Joe, was arrested last week. Police say she had been in contact with the Pakistani intelligence officer named Ehsan-ur-Rahim, also known as Danish, and allegedly shared sensitive information with him. However, Hisar Superintendent of Police said they have not found any formal proof of her intent to change her religion. We have not found any document which depicts that she wants to marry any PIOs or wants to change her religion, the SP said. COP says Danish, who has been declared persona non grata by India, introduced Malhotra to Ali Ehwan. Ehwan allegedly helped arrange her stay and connected her with Pakistani officials Shakir and Rana Shehbaz. Two Israeli embassy workers who were shot dead outside a Jewish museum in Washington, D.C. by Chicago men were a beautiful couple who were about to be engaged. Yashil Leiter, Israel's ambassador to the U.S., stated in a news conference. The young man purchased a ring this week with the intention of proposing to his girlfriend next week in Jerusalem, Leiter told media. Prime Minister Mark Carney said Canada is looking at potential investments in US President Donald Trump's proposed Golden Dome missile defense shield. He mentioned it's a good idea to have protection for citizens of Canada. This comes after Trump on Tuesday said he has selected a design for the $175 billion project and named a Space Force general to lead the program, which is focused at blocking threats from China and Russia. We have an ability, if we so choose, to complete the Golden Dome with investments in partnership, and it's something that we are looking at and something that has been discussed at a high level. Is it a good idea for Canada? Well, it's a good idea to have protection for Canadians and Canada, Reuters quoted Carney as saying. Carney, who secured victory in April election in part by vowing to oppose the threat posed by Donald Trump, mentioned that he had spoken with the president a few times about the idea of the Golden Dome. His office said that he and his ministers were in conversation with their American counterparts about a new security and economic relationship. Coming to sports news, Ruben Amorim has been criticized for selection decision as Manchester United lost to Tottenham in the Europa League final. Ruben Amorim's Manchester United tenure is turning into a disaster. On Wednesday, United lost to Tottenham 0-1 in the Europa League, and it has increased the pressure on Amorim in what has been a dismal season. United are also set to finish a near bottom in the Premier League standings. After the Europa League final, many fans and experts have also criticized Amorim for his tactical and selection decision for the match, which also saw him use Alejandro Garnacho as substitute. The Argentine was introduced in the 71st minute, replacing Mason Mount. Neeraj Chopra's ex-coach slams Shivpal Singh over failed doping test. I am really pissed off. This is like cheating. Shivpal Singh reportedly has failed a doping test for the second time in his career, and the Indian Olympian javelin thrower is set to receive a ban of up to a maximum period of 8 years if found guilty. According to an earlier PTI report, Shivpal, who competed at the Tokyo Olympics, returned positive after his urine sample in an out-of-competition test earlier this year. He has been provisionally suspended by the NADA. Reacting to the development, Neeraj Chopra's ex-coach Klaus Bertonnetz was left fuming at the 29-year-old. It shows that you don't trust in this process. All those who are doping don't trust that they can reach the top by normal nature of training. The German biomechanics expert also said, "It makes me so angry that they are promoting javelin throw everywhere and coming from a family of javelin throwers and they are doing these things. This is like cheating and carrying the Indian flag proudly saying Jai Hind by cheating. I have no words for this." But the good thing about Shivpal's story is that he got caught. So the system is working, he added. Ending with business news, infra to energy player Hisar Multi Projects Limited has informed exchanges that it has secured an order from the National Highways Authority of India. The project, which has been secured through the e-tender process, is worth rupees around 23 crores. Letter of award has been received from the NHAI for acting as user fee collection agency at Shashikalan Fee Plaza at 193 kilometers for rehabilitation and upgradation from 178 kilometers to 215 kilometers of NH 76 to 2-lane with paved shoulder on EPC made in the state of Uttar Pradesh, the company said in an filing. The counter opened in the red as benchmark indices tumbled in the opening trade amid weak global cues. The counter started at the session of rupees 47 and slipped further to touch the intraday low of 45.26. Last seen, it was trading at rupees 45.85 on the BCE, a fall of 2.82% from the previous close of rupees 47.18. At least one-third of the 45 analysts that have coverage on Indus India Bank now have to sell recommendation on the stock. This after the Mumbai-based private lender reported its first net loss in nearly 2 decades for the March quarter. The stock fell as much as 5% in early trading on Thursday. Brokerage firm UBS has a sell rating on the stock with a price target of 600. While it is said that the stock is not inexpensive, its current level but lack of strategic direction, lower balance sheet, growth, uncertainty on margins is likely to result in derating for the stock. HSBC has downgraded Indus Ind Bank to reduce and has cut its prices target to 660. It said that Indus Ind Bank has been pushed back to the pre-2009 era with no clarity yet on the rebuilding process. As a result, the brokerage has cut Indus India's bank's earnings per share estimates by 41% to 43% for the financial year 2026 and 2027, as the management has made one-off adjustments to correct accountings. So that would be all for today. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned to Bharti News for continuous coverage coming right up. Wishing you a good evening and a great night ahead. Thank you.